Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again with episode number 39 of the AC Milan career mode here in Xbox One. We're out of the January transfer window, so of course we're back up to 3 games per episode, and we start actually the very next day. It's the 1st of February, and we're playing at home against Empoli. We've had quite a few games in a row at home now, which is rather surprising. Of course, one of them yesterday was the Coppa Nazionale game against Lazio, which unfortunately we went out of. We drew it after 90 minutes if you missed yesterday's episode. In fact, if you missed yesterday's episode, there's an annotation in the bottom left. Feel free to go back and check that out if you want to. But if you don't, then I'll let you know. We lost yesterday on penalties to Lazio, so we're out of the Coppa Nazionale. But we bounced back fantastically well in this next game against Empoli. As you can see, just 2 minutes and 2 seconds on the board before Stefan El Shaarawy was able to find the back of the net. A great strike from Benyat, in fact. Really, really good power on it. Unfortunately not to find the corner of the net himself with that. Would have been a very, very nice goal to score. But fortunately, El Shaarawy was there on the follow-up. His high work rates coming in very handy indeed, and he was following up on the chance to give us a 1-0 lead. And he's involved again here, coming up towards half-time. The first shot's blocked. It's actually going to come back to Matteo De Sciglio, who has scored a couple of goals for me at Milan and also at Chelsea, in fact, in the other career mode that we had going on the channel, which we will eventually at the end of this season go back to. But De Sciglio this time not able to find the back of the net, and neither was Robinho, having to step in, of course, for the now very, very tired Alexander Lacazette, considering he's been playing even more football than expected because Mario Balotelli picked up a dislocated shoulder in the opening game of yesterday's video. Is actually going to be out for 8 weeks. So Lacazette and Robinho really do have their work cut out when it comes to scoring goals and making sure that we can win games. But this Pedro chance was going to round off a really, really nice flowing passing move. I was particularly impressed with the move as a whole and the finish, in fact, to get it across the goalkeeper from that angle with that pace and to put the ball into the back of the net in such emphatic style was really, really impressive. What wasn't impressive was the standard of Robinho's finishing. Now, of course, if Lacazette is going to be our main goal scorer now, we know he can score goals. Robinho is going to have to step up in these rotation games, and so far he hasn't shown to me that he can do that. I may in fact have to try Giovanni Dos Santos up in that striker role and use Robinho out wide, and or just drop Robinho altogether and give Adam Yajic a few more games out wide and give him a little bit more first team football. But El Shaarawy trying to get us a 30 and put the game definitely to bed, and unfortunately that lovely finesse shot actually really was quite impressive, but unfortunately it came back off the bar. We weren't able to extend the lead, but we're into the very, very end of the game now. Robinho through one-on-one yet again, and yet again his finishing lets him down, and we aren't able to round off the game with a third goal. But fortunately Empoli weren't of any threat whatsoever, and we were able to run out 2-0 winners. And you'll be able to see from the stats that are going to pop up on your screen in a second, absolutely everything that we deserved. They had a lot of the ball, but even with 42% of the possession, we created 21 chances, 14 on target, and it would have been a lot more had Robinho actually been able to kick a football into the back of the net rather than straight at the goalkeeper. So we were hoping, now that Alexander Lacazette was back in the side for this next game against the Atalanta, although albeit away from home, for the first time in quite a while, actually, we were hoping to keep up our winning run and perhaps even a clean sheet run as well. But as you can see, we're still 4th in the league. We've closed up to Roma now with that game in hand now played, and we're only 2 points behind them, so 2 points outside of the Champions League spots. Of course, as always, we have to remember it's the top 3 that qualify for the Champions League in Italy, not the top 4 like it is in England. But Marcel Janssen draws a good save out the goalkeeper early on. The left back kind of marauding forward on his right foot of all things, not the strongest of feet, but still it was a decent chance. And then actually the header from the corner was well saved off the line by the defender. Nice to have a covering player on the post. It's something that gets neglected a lot in real life, and Atalanta was certainly glad to have a man there this time around. But Alexander Lacazette's going to get played through here by Victor Ruiz. Tries to lob the goalkeeper. We mentioned yesterday's video that the chip animation is a little bit overpowered when it comes to close range chips, but this time I didn't put enough loft on it. The goalkeeper went up, put really strong palm behind it, and we weren't quite able to angle it into the back of the net, and the angle on that shot wasn't quite as good as it potentially needed to be as well. This time coming back off the woodwork, unfortunately bouncing to a defender so I can hook it clear. But Lacazette's going to pick the ball up. Nice Maradona turnaround. One's going to race all the way away from the defenders, have the shot. Good save from the goalkeeper, but Pedro is on hand to put the ball into the back of the net. And I said I was going to rely on Lacazette and Robinho for goals, but Pedro, as he falls through the advertising hoarding, stepped up in the past couple of games with a couple of big goals, and it was questionable as to whether that was onside or offside or not when the initial shot went in. I think it was just onside, but I actually made a defensive change, as you can see here. Nigel de Jong coming on for Julian Draxler. I pushed Nocerino up into the cam role, but he of course is kind of the player that likes to go forward and back, whereas Draxler is very much an attacking player. But I wanted to ensure that we held on to this 1-0 lead because I definitely don't want to lose points. We weren't necessarily, as you could tell by that Adam Yates shot that went well wide, having the most amount of fortune in front of goal. We were a little bit wayward with a lot of chances, not necessarily putting away as many as we should do, and we have learned earlier on in the season, if we let teams get back at us, we will get punished. So that's something we need to improve upon, is our defensive stability. Turn those draws that we picked up earlier in the season into wins at the business end of the season, which is exactly what we're trying to do now. Nocerino is going to come oh so close to sealing all 3 points there himself. Really decent shot, but unfortunately just past that wide far post. But we do get all 3 points. We are able to hang on to that clean sheet, and I think that's 5 wins in a row now in the league. Very pleased indeed. 2 clean sheets in a row in this particular episode, and we round the episode out with another game in the league, this time at home again against Sampdoria. Lacazette again in the starting lineup, Pedro there as well, so hoping to score some goals and maintain that goal scoring streak as well as the winning streak if we possibly could. And we're actually doing very well in the league now. This run of form has kind of come at the same time that some of the teams above us kind of started a little bit. They're stuttering now, just like we started at the beginning. And as you can see, we're up into third now and only 5 points rather, off the top of the league. That at one point was a full 12 points away from the top of the league. So we're really coming into form at the right time. But Giovanni Dos Santos, I mentioned that I might put him up top. Not if he's going to do that. That is such a glorious open opportunity. Admittedly, it's on his right foot and it was getting away from him. He did snatch at it, but still, you expect a player of that calibre to put that sort of effort into the back of the net and put you 1-0 up, which is, of course, something we're hoping Alexander Lacazette can do with this chance. Nice Ronaldo chop inside, decent finish. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper gets there, but Antonio Nocerino comes good. Fancy little diving header in at the back post. We take a 1-0 lead after just 22 minutes. And I keep saying I want my my strikers, Lacazette and Robinho and Giovanni Dos Santos, to step up and start scoring goals. And it's actually the midfielders, in the loss of Mario Balotelli, that really have upped their game. Pedro again on the score sheet. He's really in the, a really rich vein of form right now. Really rich vein of goal scoring form as well, as he puts us 2-0 up. We push into the second half. Rafael van der Vaart, Pedro getting involved in the defensive instance as well there. Fantastic sliding tackle. Unfortunately, Van der Vaart goes down injured, and they don't even try and get him off the pitch. They leave him down on the floor injured as the cross comes towards him in fact, but this time it's the defender that goes up, wins the header, but fortunately for us it's straight at Guita and we're able to come away with our clean sheet intact. But they weren't done attacking wise. Sampdoria definitely were more attacking and more of a threat than the previous two opponents had been, but again it was the midfielders stepping up. You see El Shaarawy was the one there backtracking, putting in a really well timed sliding challenge to make sure that we cleared the ball, but Sampdoria came back at us yet again. 10 minutes to go, still trying to maintain our lead if we possibly can. Diving header from Medea though really isn't as accurate as it could be. If it had just headed that straight, it would have gone right into the bottom corner and they would have been back in the game. But Lacazette's on the ball into Giovanni Dos Santos, is going to find Alexander Lacazette yet again, and there's that dodgy chipped animation. I felt cheap doing it, but it did put the game to bed. We are going to run out 3-0 winners against Sampdoria. It's 3 clean sheets in this one, and we really are on the best run of form we have been pretty much all series long, to be fair, in both seasons. So hopefully we can maintain that in for the rest of the week. You're seeing this on Thursday, of course, so hopefully tomorrow we can maintain some more victories, of course. So you can see they have a game in hand, Juventus, but we are only 2 points off the lead now. So really turn up for the books, where we've kind of rocketed up from 7th, 8th in the league up to 2nd, and there are 14 games left. It's 38 games, isn't it, in Serie A? 14 games left, and we definitely are in with a shout at that league title if we can maintain this run of form. We've just got to keep plugging away at it, and hopefully when Mario Balotelli comes back from injury, that will be the push that we need to get us over the edge and get that Serie A title before we go back to the Chelsea career mode at the end of this season. But that's going to bring this one to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. There will be a My Player episode uploaded later on tonight, so feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to make sure that you don't miss out on it. It'll be hitting your sub boxes at 9 o'clock. As always, there is a schedule in the description and on the about page of my channel. If you don't know when or what I upload, that is how to find out. And of course, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Gaming as well with any questions etc. you may have for or any just general banter you want to have on Twitter, just to be in contact and interact with me, because I like having the interaction with you. But that's going to round this one to a close, guys. I kind of rambled on at the end here, as I always seem to do. But that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching My Player at 9 o'clock tonight, and I will see you next time.